just starting off approaching nutrition from the past, a lot of what I would do was just I'd go towards whatever had the most like protein in it. I'm assuming that's what a lot of people have done. A lot of people do. I never really pay attention to like what it actually was. I just pay attention to the number on the back of the nutrition label. That's
Right.
kind of what I focused on.
Yeah.
I focused on carb, protein, and that was pretty much it. No real salads, maybe a fruit here and there.
Yeah.
As compared to now, I'm starting to look towards what's probably better for me to ingest, like what's going to be more effective in terms of like nutritional makeup, what's going to be better for me, what's going to like have a positive impact on like my performance. Because something that I've noticed just from the start, a change in diet is like plays a huge factor in like athletic performance and athletic development,
right,
over the long run, especially.
So now with all the military testing and the requirements that you guys are under every week, do you feel that, and I know, I mean, looking back at your notes, it's obvious, but as we're having this conversation, do you feel it has significantly improved your performance and your recovery between all of those sessions?
Definitely. I would say so. It's also helped with like just athletic like performance in general, helped with, like you said, recovery.
Right.
With pretty much in almost all aspects.
Okay, cool. So this is good. So you went from a mass market focus on lots of protein and carbohydrates to a focus on the health benefits and body composition benefits of the foods you choose to consume, right? So we took the focus off of the emphasis on protein, and the other part of the equation being carbohydrates. Would you say it's accurate to say we've shifted more to a plant-based foundation of eating in terms of your nutritional focus?
Yes, definitely so.
Okay, so we've moved away from the mass market mentality to a quote unquote plant-based foundation, which now has you, I mean, I could look back at your first couple of days of eating when we started, and you're eating way more vegetables, way more salad, nuts, seeds, fruits. And yes, we're still getting a lot of protein in there, even though the focus is not on protein and complex carbs anymore. How do you feel? How do you feel like energetically, body composition wise? How do you feel now as compared to back then?
As compared back to then, I would definitely say that just through combination of like the nutritional like foods and the competition, as well as the pace and timing at which I eat it, kind of guidance on that, especially in the mornings. I used to feel like really sluggish, super sluggish. Kind of going up the stairs was a bit of a difficulty for me.
Right.
Kind of, there was big like bursts of energy that I required throughout the day. Generally wouldn't really show or appear without some like large dose of caffeine or some large miracle that happened the night before. But I guess I got lost in the question. I'm not really. I don't remember where I was.
This is good. It's a big question. Some of the changes you've experienced in regards to body composition, performance, and how you feel, because of the nutritional approach that we've replaced what you used to do with what we're doing now. So you used to have big breakfasts, right? And you used to be really sluggish because of that. Now, if we're being honest, there's some days that you don't actually eat a breakfast in the morning, most days, right? Because we've implemented what I call like a phantom fast. It's basically pushing back or skipping the first meal of the day that used to be very traditional for you and just really part of your mindset. It really wasn't a necessity, right? Because by moving that out, now your body composition is getting better. You feel more energetic and stronger in the morning without having to load up on caffeine to try to force an artificial kind of energy. You actually have energy and you're not sluggish, right?
That's correct.
So now looking back and then looking at where you're at now, how do you feel about quote unquote not having a traditional breakfast that you used to have?
kind of approaching it normally, or initially I was kind of skeptical about it, just because of the fact that, you know,
I remember.
yeah, I was like, what? I didn't really know what to make of it. But I mean, kind of going through the motions, experiencing it, it's very interesting. I will also say that the different approach to diet has kind of affected the way that, like, I feel like the way I look in the mirror, like it definitely changes, you know, the person that you see staring back at you, you know.
All right, give me the details. Go ahead.
Details with that? Yeah. So just composition is more of what I'm looking towards. Like I've lost fat, I've lost weight. It's it's definitely weighing me down less. It's less of like a how do I say it? Focused on mass and more focused on kind of performance. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, you're trending toward a more athletic build instead of a muscle mass focused build.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that happen.
Yep.
So the mirror is showing that change in body composition to you, right? Mm-hmm. If you were to hold up a photo of yourself when we started around the holiday season to now, what percentage difference would you say appears in those two photos side by side? Like not body, body fat, but just you like, wow, I'm 10% better or 60% better or whatever. There's no right or wrong, but just to give me an idea of what you're seeing, what you're thinking when you think about yourself back then as compared to now, 4 months later.
I'd say comparatively, I'd say about 60 to 70%, which is kind of a decent range to be at. There's definitely more to build off of, just because of the fact that, you know, transition like this takes a great deal of time, especially with such like minute changes. Like if I were, let's say, like 250 pounds, like the huge lack of calories would cause like a much more rapid decrease. But because I'm dealing with such like a more moderate percentage, like body composition, the changes are going to be a bit more minute as we go along. And so I'm expecting that. And I'm definitely happier.
Yeah, I could see it in your face, your attitude, your energy, like even and physically too, like your face looks more athletic, your neck, if we looked at yourself back then, we'd see a more athletic guy right now. It's obvious to me. So you're saying 60 to 70%, relatively speaking, you feel and look better now as compared to when we started.
Correct. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's really good. That's strong. And your early days, this is only 4 months in, everything you learned in these first 4 months with me, you're now going to carry forward as a foundation to your lifestyle. Right. So, do you actually, like, are your clothes fitting better? Like, do you feel a lightness overall as well? Go ahead, tell me.
Yeah. A lot of the clothes that I was fitted for last semester, they don't necessarily fit me anymore.
They're
like
too
the shirt
big.
that I'm wearing, like the shirt that I'm wearing right now is a little bit baggy. Like the pants that I'm wearing are definitely, like, the waist size is a lot bigger than it was before.
So you had to tighten up the belt a little bit.
Yeah. It's a little bit frustrating, but it's kind of encouraging at the same time.
Well, so as you develop a more athletic physique, that's supposed to happen. Like your body fat was too high. You were puffy, you were bloated back then, and it may not have only been body fat, but it's also excess fluid and fluid retention and constant bloat from eating too much around the clock. Right. So the changes we made have made a definite change in your body composition, but have also reduced the amount of fluid that's constantly circulating in your body as excess. Right. And so you're feeling it in the reduction of the clothing sizes, which is a good thing, because these are the things which are allowing you to have more energy, be ready to go in the morning, not be sluggish, actually be performing better on all of your demands, all of your testing, any athletics you participate in. This is what's allowing you to be better at all that. So that's big. This is good stuff. All right. Anything else you want to share on the positive side? Anything that comes to mind on top of all that?
Just on the positive side, I would say definitely when I look at like choices in the restaurant, I'm not always constraining myself to, okay, it has to be meat based, it has to be, high protein based, it has to be fit this certain criteria. I'm definitely looking towards more beneficial options, if you know what I mean.
Plant-based.
Definitely. Yes, exactly.
Veggies, salads, beans, and then of course, protein can come in with that, whether it's a small piece of fish or a reasonable sized piece of fish, or even some other kind of meat if it fits that day or that occasion.
Yep. So like essentially just like a change in what I prioritize whenever I dine out.
That's it right there. Keyword, prioritizing. And so that concept of prioritizing what it is you're looking for, regardless whether you're at your place there, you're out at a restaurant, you're at a Starbucks, you're on the road, you're back home with the family. Now it's going to be easy when you're home because your mom is totally in the groove here. She's kicking so much butt, it's crazy. So you guys will be in the groove together because the way she's learned to eat is exactly what you're leaning toward as well. But it's going to be easier for you to do when you're home because they already cook like that. Your mom especially. This is great. This is really good. Okay, so